In this video, we will explore how traits are passed from parents to offspring, which results in the wide variety of life we see all around us. We'll explore two primary types of reproduction, asexual and sexual reproduction. Let's start with asexual reproduction. In this type of reproduction, a single parent produces offspring without the involvement of another organism. Some common organisms that reproduce asexually are bacteria, starfish, and many types of plants. Imagine you're making a photocopy of a document. The photocopy will be identical to the original, right? In the same way, in asexual reproduction, the offspring produced are genetically identical to the parent organism because they're basically copies of the parent's DNA. That's why we say asexual reproduction does not lead to genetic variation. There's no mixing or exchanging of genetic material. Now, let's move on to sexual reproduction. Most of us are more familiar with this type of reproduction, as it involves two parents, each contributing half of their genetic information to produce offspring. Humans, many animals, and many types of plants reproduce this way. In sexual reproduction, each parent has two versions of each chromosome. We call these alleles. When an offspring is produced, it gets one allele of each gene from each parent. Sometimes, these alleles can be identical, but often they're different, leading to genetic variation. We can model this using a Punnett square. Let's take eye color, for example. If we look at the color of the eyes, the brown color, represented by a capital B, dominates over the recessive blue color, represented by a lowercase b. If we have a heterozygous parent, they will have one of each of the alleles. Because brown is dominant, they will have brown eyes. If the other parent has blue eyes, we know they are homozygous recessive. We can use a Punnett square to map out the potential combinations in the offspring. The Punnett square demonstrates that 50% of the offspring will have brown eyes, and 50% will have blue eyes. This shows us that in sexual reproduction, because the offspring gets a mix of genetic information from each parent, it leads to a lot of potential variety. This is why siblings in the same family can look different from each other, even though they have the same parents. So, in summary, asexual reproduction leads to genetically identical offspring because there's only one parent and thus no mixing of genetic information, while sexual reproduction leads to genetically varied offspring because each parent contributes half of the genetic material, and these can be mixed and matched in many different combinations. This transmission of genes from parent to offspring and the resulting genetic variation makes life on Earth diverse and complex.